Hello Booktube, how are you guys doing? Today I'm going to be doing the About Me tag, as I'm sure you already saw because it was in the description title, and I seem to have forgotten it right off the bat. This was originally done by somebody who, I don't have their name, but I have the link, so I'm a big old douchebag. So, let's get to it. What do you study and what is your job? I study nothing to get a degree. Let's just say I spend a lot of time on Wikipedia. But really, I am a writer. I write all different kinds of fiction under a bunch of different names, and have done film work and music stuff. So that's basically what I do. What is your favorite social media channel? I don't like Facebook, but it seems a lot of the stuff I do or people I need to talk to are on Facebook, so I end up having to use that. I don't know what my favorite is. I think for a time Pinterest was my favorite, just because I was pinning pictures of staircases that I thought were cool, and I thought that was a lot of fun. If I had another channel, what would it be about? I've had a lot of different channels. Maybe a month from now I'll be into something else, like maybe a fashion channel. I really like 60s and early 70s fashion, but I also like, I've talked about this before, but 1960s architecture and the 50s mid-century modern decorating. So maybe I would do that, or maybe little toys like action figures or something. I do play instruments. That was question 4. I have a BC Rich Warlock right there, and a Dean Flying V bass right there, and a Martin acoustic right there. I play drums. And then there's other instruments that I play that I probably shouldn't because I'm not very good, but like ukulele, mandolin, keyboard, stuff like that. What hobbies do you have other than reading? Kaplawi. I love the original Legend of Zelda. I play it on a randomizer from a ROM, so every time you play it, it's like a different game. That's really fun. I like Atari 2600 as well, Sega Master System, like old retro games. Pinball is like my crack. I like to go to Vegas once a year, hopefully more, to go to the Pinball Hall of Fame and play some pinball. Monster Bash, Medieval Madness, Attack from Mars, Bride of Pinbot, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Those are my jams, yo. Favorite TV shows. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, favorite TV shows, number 6. I have a lot of favorite TV shows, and I go through weird bits where like I watch TV a lot, then I don't, then I do, then I don't. Things that I've watched recently that I really liked, we'll do that. Santa Clarita Diet was hysterical. Oh, Feud. Feud was freaking great. If you haven't seen Feud, watch Feud. We've just finished Westworld. I didn't love it, but it was interesting, I guess. And Twin Peaks is starting in a few weeks, so I'm pretty excited about that. What got you into reading? This is one of my favorite questions on here. I've been giving this actually a lot of thought. Well, there's a couple things. In the newbie video, I did this thing about these books I had when I was a kid. The thing that got me into reading were probably the comics that came with He-Man action figures, because that was kind of the first thing I remember when I was little, because the He-Man action figure, Masters of the Universe, that came out when I was like 3. So I still have a lot of the comics that came with the characters. This one, Battle in the Clouds, was the first one I got, because, and I also had that funny car. That was awesome. Battle in the Clouds. This came with Merman, and but it was more of a storybook than a comic. So it was really, for a kid, I was like, what the hell, man? I can't read all this. So I was like constantly trying to figure stuff out, and I remember that a lot of words were, let's see here. Oh, shit, sorry. There were a lot of words that, like, I recognized from TV and commercials. That's so sad, but it's the truth. So I had to kind of figure it out. And the artwork in this is actually really good compared to later comics that are pretty shit. And then there's like, hey, buy all this stuff. And boy, did my parents. That's a funny picture of Merman. And the funny thing is that Merman never looked like he did in the comic on the toy. But anyway, so those really got me into reading. What are your favorite and least favorite genres? I love detective fiction, like mid-century detective fiction, hard-boiled, noir, crime fiction, stuff like that. Least favorite genres, I would probably have to say erotica, because I don't read any of it. What books define your childhood? Now, there are two books that define my childhood for real. One of them is this, Stephen King's Creepshow. And the reason being is because my dad had a lot of books. Like, I remember seeing the big hardbound versions of Dune and a lot of the Stephen King stuff, tons of Star Trek stuff. But I always wanted to read this because I totally felt like that little kid. Always like reading comics and stuff in bed when I was supposed to be sleeping or whatever. And I always wanted to read this. And my dad was like, you gotta go wash your hands. You can't touch my books unless you wash your hands. And so I would have to go wash my hands. And then he would let me look at whatever. And then there's a really scary picture of Stephen King on the back. So that's one. And then the second one, first edition. It's How to Prevent Monster Attacks. And this came out in '86, which is the same year Monster Squad came out. And Monster Squad was like big for me. It was like I wanted to be those kids. I wanted to have a club that hunted monsters and stuff. And How to Prevent Monster Attacks was like my handbook. I actually have a couple copies of this around the house somewhere. But I love the font, and my band Creeperson, we use that exact same font. And it's funny too, because like as an adult looking at this, it's like, to Morris, who fights monsters with his briefcase. It's probably a lawyer joke. But I carried this book with me like everywhere, because on the off chance that like I had to spot a monster or Dracula came into somebody's room, a spaceship landed and wanted me to get inside of it. This was just an awesome, awesome, awesome book. I love it. Yeah. And like Where the Sidewalk Ends, A Light in the Attic, Dr. Seuss stuff. An interesting fact about me, I have made, written, produced, and directed about close to 50 B movies. And I kind of stopped doing it because most people are assholes. But yeah, so that's something about me. So that was about me. If you want to chat about how to prevent monster attacks or anything like that, please comment below. Talk to you soon.